Hi. We had a shelter-in-place ordered in our county in mid of March 2020, but we were already staying home the weekend prior to that because of the fear. So much has changed suddenly, especially more for moms who now have to become teachers in addition to fulfilling the numerous other roles in their lives. In this video, I'm sharing what we did starting from mid of March 2020. I'm dividing this video into three parts. First, the activities that I did with my kids, and hopefully it gives you some good ideas that you might want to try with your kids. Second, some of the food that I cooked, hopefully it gives you some food inspo. And last part, a little about me. My twins are 5-year-olds. I didn't want to overwhelm them with studying and neither burden myself. I only have 1 hour in the morning when they are fresh and their brain is active for lesson plans. The rest of the day are simple activities, playtime, and fun stuff. After a few days of self-quarantine, I realized I needed a schedule. Not something to follow strictly, but at least something as a guideline. And while I took easy for the most part, here are some of the things that we did. We made this very simple paper crown craft with flowers and leaves for the first day of spring 2020. I cut out the colorful flowers and leaves from papers and let Alicia glue them onto a large strip of printer paper that was cut to fit on her head. You could take it a level up with stickers and rhinestones and lace and glitter glue and whatnots. I also read to them. Fortunately, we had borrowed some 50 books from the library in February that are now coming in very handy. I pushed in a toy dinosaur in a balloon and filled water and put it in a freezer. Next day, I cut the balloon and it came off very easily. And then I gave them beach tools, rolling pin, a hammer for them to rescue the dinosaur out of the ice. A hammer worked the best and quickest, but you might want to give a fork to slowly break the ice if you want your kids to keep at this activity for longer. Since we were doing a dinosaur theme on this day, I asked them to do their dinosaur puzzle afterwards and then draw and color a dinosaur land on easel paper with trees, rocks, forest, water, anything that they wanted to draw and color. The next day, they first played pretend with their tiny kitchen toys. Pretend cooking and pretend serving and kitchen toys and an entire kitchen playset can keep little kids busy for an hour.
It's floating!
Though it had been raining, we couldn't find a puddle in the front or back of the house, so I made paper boats for them to play with in a tub of water. Would have been great to do a paper boat race if we had a stream of water.
It's floating!
The smaller boat that I made after watching a YouTube tutorial did a better job floating and didn't get soggy as quickly as the other one. Let me see if I can link that tutorial up for you. I think every kid in quarantine or on a rainy day would have made a fort or a tent with blankets at least once. There's something about building forts that is so exciting to kids. There are several articles about how there are reasons why kids love building forts and why it's important to allow them to. This unstructured playtime helps them be creative. It helps them organize and plan what they want their fort to look like. It encourages them to practice leadership skills and deciding their rules for their fort, and it feels like a safe place to them.
What is this that Alicia wrote? Huh? Please come to the tent if you want to come to the tent. Please come to the tent. Please only if you want. If you pick to go in the tent, you... What? Will enjoy inside the tent. Come into the tent if you want to come into the tent. Do not come in the tent. If you do not come in the tent, then do not go. This is just J-U-S-T, but that's okay. Worry about it later, okay? Do not just what? Do not go in the tent if you do not want to go. Alicia, you're too funny.
Not to mention, once you give them blankets to build their fort, along with some books, some snacks, a flashlight, and a few other things that they need, you can expect to get at least 30 minutes of free time. Later in the day, we tried the Google augmented reality, People mostly take photos, but I recorded my screen because watching the animals moving was pretty cool. Here's how you do it. Go to google.com on your phone browser, type in just the name of any animal, such as tiger, lion, shark, etc., anyone, and scroll down to click on View in 3D, and then follow the instructions from there and decide where you want to position the animal in your room. Picture this, they actually have no idea where the animal is or what it looks like while I am viewing it in the screen. But they are imagining and doing all of this jumping and moving around, which they will watch when I show them the video afterwards. Few days back, I had asked them to draw a dinosaur land on paper, drawing trees, rocks, forest, volcano, lake, etc., and color it. And then on this day, I asked them to use grass, leaves, whatever greenery they want to add, anything that they can pick up from the backyard to make it look like a forest on their paper. So they could use wood chips, mulch as tree trunk, stones as rocks, and just add whatever they wanted to make their dinosaur land model in the backyard. There are several articles and studies that discuss how children are fascinated with these creatures and why kids love dinosaurs so much. And then we also danced, taking turns being the dance teacher. It's cute when they come up with their dance steps, which look cute when they do it but ridiculous when I try to. But 15 minutes of fun and some movement with music is always energizing. And speaking of movement, an indoor trampoline plays two roles for us. One, to get them moving, and second, to help them practice numbers.
268, 269. What after 269?
On another day, as I was doing my work, I left the front camera video on and didn't tell my kids that I was recording. When they see themselves in the mirror or on camera, they do funny things, and it's something that keeps them busy very easily. And then I enjoy watching them go nuts at that point, and then I enjoy watching their video at a later point. Also, apps like B612 with photo filters and accessories, for example, like this, that they can select to click their pics, are simple ideas to keep kids entertained. And for me too. They also did a little bit of studying. I had a whole lesson plan that I had planned for them, which didn't happen exactly according to the plan. But to start with, I had them practice their alphabets. The next day they did numbers. They also did the worksheets they received from their school. One day I taught them about weather and seasons. I like to draw and write out when I teach them, asking questions and talking along the way. After that, I showed a YouTube video about thunderstorm and a weather quiz on some website that I'd randomly Googled up. Then one day we followed a theme and learned about human body. Just one day is definitely not enough for this vast topic, but I tried to teach them the basics from whatever little knowledge that I have.
Down to our legs. What is this part of our body called?
Front.
The front. The whole thing is called the leg. Shin. You got it.
I guess.
Okay.
Although they know parts of the body well by now, they're 5 years old, I still drew the human body and pointed out the parts and wrote what the names are. Then we read the big book of the body for kids. It has simple illustrations and good basic information for kids to understand easily, along with 4 giant fold-outs of bones, muscles, how blood flows, and how the food goes down in our body. After that, we did an activity from this Body Lab box. It's for ages 6+ and has so many different activities, experiments, and things for kids to learn about human body. I highly recommend the Big Book of the Body as well as this Body Lab STEM kit. There were a few more activities we did over the month, but I will now move on to food. I don't do fancy stuff for them often, so they were pleasantly surprised with this snack, and it was very easy for me to put it all together. It was funny that Alicia kept saying this looked too pretty for her to eat. After dinner, they also had some strawberries with honey one day, some kiwi with melted chocolate one afternoon, and lots of breakfast pancakes because that's my favorite breakfast. And some more pancakes for breakfast but with whipped cream and their choice of flavored milk. Some oatmeal for breakfast with honey, berries, almond, and raisins.
All right. Come on, Alicia.
They had banana milkshake with grilled cheese sandwich one day. We also had dosa with chutney, sambar, and spicy potatoes for lunch one day. And we were grateful that in these difficult times, there was sufficient food on the table for us. Since we had to stay home and cook all the meals, there definitely was a lot more food than this, but I'll now move on to motherhood. Since we had nowhere to go, I tried cutting Keshav's hair, albeit unevenly.
Could you tell me a story?
I also saw a lot more of them. Some moments of bonding that warmed my heart.
Huh?
We had lots of hugs and lots of cuddles and lots of snuggles.
What is it?
Just leave.
All right.
Bunny.
Well, let's get up. Oh my God, you guys, lazy bum.
2 weeks after shelter in place, I started going a little nuts.
Today is my day of self-care. Going outside, I can't dare. Healthcare workers working so hard. Oh, I can't disregard. So I'm going to stay indoors and care for myself some more. So I keep me safe and others too. Stay at home, that's all I'll do. Practice social distancing everywhere. So today is my day of self-care. It's 2:30 right now and I came out to the car to read a book peacefully. Oh my God, I think in addition to social distancing, I need some physical distancing with my family. Living with them 24/7 is a little too much. I mean, they're driving me bananas, which I don't have many left of in the first place. Staying safe but going insane. Hashtag. Oh my God. If you run out of things to do indoors or are not sure what to do next, it's a good time to practice some self-care. If you haven't bought some face masks from the store, you can watch my video where I've shown things I've used from the kitchen to apply on my face to practice some self-care. Stay positive while you're staying indoors. Stay safe. Let others stay safe. Take care. And oh yeah, don't talk when you have the face mask on.
And I did a little self-care. And I expected a little care too. So I would ask kids to walk or crawl on my back to give me a massage. March has been exhausting, overwhelming, and challenging to say the least. It's as difficult for kids to navigate through these difficult waters as it is for me. But we're trying, making mistakes, learning, and taking it one day at a time.